I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't grabbed it already, there's a table tent with your name on it. They're in alphabetical in the back. Those are expected to be up and displayed every week, and I will explain more of that when we talk about the syllabus and explain how those are help us with attendance and give you credit for being in your seat when you're here on Fridays that you're here. So we are going to get started with a welcome from our dean and our associate dean. So I'm going to let Dr. Alan Attaway and Dr. Chris Stivers introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Alan Attaway. I'm the current dean of the College of Business. Well, we're looking for a better dean, but I'm it for a while. And I recognize a few faces from last Friday, right? You were here Friday afternoon, and we had a little chat. So this is very, very, very brief. It is pretty much just a welcome to the college, and with a couple notes. You got 4 years ahead of you. Some of you a little more, some of you a little less. But what are you going to do in those 4 years? Well, one thing you need to do is work on your product. And what is your product? Your product is you. So you got 4 years to develop that product into a sparkling brand that the customer, future employers, want to pluck off the shelf first. Obviously, you need to do that through grades. That's just kind of the necessary condition, but it's usually not sufficient. I mean, employers are going to look at your grades. Yeah, okay, that gets you through threshold 1. But it's all the other stuff that makes you a different product than the other ones that are on the shelf. And that includes getting involved in various and sundry organizations, whether they be social fraternities and sororities, student groups that we have for every possible interest here in the college. And I know Elizabeth is going to talk to you a lot about this, the opportunity to study abroad. That's going to give you a niche that those who don't take advantage of that will have. So again, employers don't want to see, oh, I got a 4.0, but I didn't do anything else. That's not much of a product. So get yourself involved, take advantage of all the stuff we have to take advantage of, and have a great year and career. I'm going to turn over to Chris Stivers, who's our Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs.
Hello, as our Dean Attaway mentioned, I'm Chris Stivers. I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs, and also a finance professor. I'll start by saying, how many of you are from Kentucky? Okay, so am I. You may be able to tell the slight accent. But I was started here. I was also a graduate at the University of Louisville as an undergrad. And beginning a long journey, and to kind of follow up on the theme, I'm also a finance professor. In finance, we would talk about investing in yourself and investing in your human capital, which is another, putting it in finance terms. So as you build your personal balance sheet, you can have financial assets, financial capital, you can have human capital. You all are here building your human capital by thinking about what you're doing. And so that's kind of a way to make a daily decision. How can I grow my human capital through education, experiences, involvement, et cetera? I guess I'll go a little bit more. Is anybody from near Fort Knox, Meade County, Hardin County? A few? Well, that's me also. I grew up in Meade County, came here, but since then it's been a long path back. Just very briefly, I finished here, engineering, so a good background, alternative. It's been 8 years as a United States Naval Nuclear Trained Submarine Officer, which is not the most direct path back to a PhD in finance, but it was an interesting path. Got out, worked a couple years in private business, decided I needed a graduate degree, ended up gravitating towards a PhD in financial economics from UNC Chapel Hill, 12 years at Georgia, back here in the fall of 2010, and this just finished my first year as the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs. So that's a little bit of a roundabout path. Feel free to stop in and see me sometime. I'm on the 3rd floor in the Dean Suite. Also, very interested in finance, financial markets, financial research, and we do research here at the business school. One thing I'll mention in terms of undergraduates, if you're a finance major, later on, the last few years we've ran the local branch of the CFA Institute, Chartered Financial Analysts. They run a stock research and analyst program where you analyze a company and compete with, I think last year there were about 10 teams, different universities, including teams from IU, Purdue, UK, et cetera. And then they grade it and we pitch. And 2 years ago we won. Last year we came in second. We had both an MBA team and undergrad team. So there's an opportunity. Again, human capital. The students that did that have got something they can talk about on their resume. It's a great experience interacting with finance professionals as well as guys like me. Second, Dr. White had mentioned international travel. That's something we're trying to promote for undergrads, so keep that in mind. Also, in terms of being here, I'd like to point out the Reinhardt Academic Center, great support. Once you declare a major, hopefully you'll see the same advisor your full-time here, so check in with those. Those people are professionals to help keep you straight, and they can also kind of help you, not just on classes, but any other issues you might have. We've got the Ulmer Career Center back over here, another great resource, both in terms of doing a co-op, getting out working with a company, and I think all the majors, some offer 3 hours, some offer up to 6 credit hours you can get for taking a co-op as coordinated through our Ulmer Center. And then, of course, the second part is helping you find a job, which most people are at least somewhat interested in. Let's see, international travel. I think that's about it for me. Again, I'm on the 3rd floor. I'd be glad to help you out if you have anything or want to talk finance or anything else.
All right, so in the College of Business, one of the things you're going to learn about as you go forth in business, or if you're familiar with businesses, is that there's an idea of corporate social responsibility. And it's not just what you do in business, it's how you contribute to your community and the greater good of the world and well-being out there. And the College of Business has a signature partnership with a school called Portland Elementary School. For those of you who are not from Louisville, Portland Elementary is a school where we think about 95% of the children, I'm probably repeating what you're about to say, but are on free and reduced lunch, and most of the students live 150% below the poverty line. So this is an opportunity. I think most of us believe that the great equalizer is education, and this is an opportunity to give back. It's something that you will be hearing about all year and for the next 4 years, or for your duration that you are in the College of Business, because this is something we feel very passionately about, and it's something we, Beth hit the ground running with last year, and we have really, as a college, have embraced it. So I'm going to let Dr. Beth Davis, she is a professor in marketing, but also chairs several committees, including diversity and community engagement.
Good. Hopefully this thing will work. Okay. Let's see if I can plug it. Is it gonna work? No, I guess I will do. I guess I will have to push it. It's not gonna work. That's okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. That's much better. It's a good morning indeed. Welcome to the College of Business. Very excited that you all have become a part of our college, and I want to invite you to get even more involved in the college. There are a couple of things going on in the business world that you all need to know about as business majors. First thing, companies are being encouraged, pressured, to demonstrate that they are good corporate citizens. They are being compelled to show society that not only can they generate a profit, which is incredibly important. Profit is a good word here in the College of Business. We like profit. But not only do we have to think about how to generate profit, we also have to think about how do we, while generating profit, also make sure that we are caring for the environment and also caring for the communities in which we are involved. So the College of Business, if you take my class, I teach a supply chain management class. It's a marketing elective class. If you take my class, you're going to hear a lot about this idea of corporate social responsibility, that companies need to demonstrate that they are good citizens. So we felt like if we are going to talk the talk here in the college, we also need to walk the walk. So that's one trend that we're seeing. The second trend as it relates to you all is, Dean Attaway was right. Just making good grades, that's just the price of admission. That's just what gets you in the maybe I'll take a second look stack when you apply for a job. Companies now are looking for intangibles. They are looking for skill sets. They are looking for signs that you all can be good global citizens and leaders. That's where business is going. And it's tough if you're taking a whole lot of hours in school and you're trying to just get out of here. Sometimes that can be tough to try to figure out how to demonstrate that in 4 years. But I'm going to give you this opportunity that will help you build your own personal profile, your own resume, to help demonstrate to companies that you've got it. Okay? So what we have done is we have created this initiative called Elevate Portland. As Elizabeth said, we have, in essence, adopted this little elementary school. There are 300 kids. It's out on the West End. These kids are in some pretty tough circumstances, really tough circumstances. I had no idea, and shame on me for not knowing, I had no idea that we have children 30 blocks away that live in third world conditions. And they do. So when we saw this and realized what was going on in our own backyard, we said, you know what? Let's step in and make a difference. And we have tried to do just that. And there is the opportunity to lift these kids up is enormous. So there are two things that we are trying to accomplish here with this initiative. And let me just give you, this is Angela Hosh. She is the principal of Portland Elementary. She is one of the most fantastic human beings I have ever met. I have never seen anybody that has a bigger heart for children than this lady. So I hope that if you choose to get involved, you need to get to know her because she's really special. And we've done this for a year, and this is just her assessment on the impact that the College of Business has had so far.
And then the thought that we were going to have a pep rally and pizza, and that's an event for our kids. So, and to share that with our teachers, because typically we get gifts, we'll get small gifts, but the teachers don't get recognized. So that's always a big deal here. But then they kept coming back. So to have your staff lifted up along with the students, because as I said, it's not just watching the trauma with the kids and their families, but watching that secondary trauma with your staff is hard. Because they're, as much as I'm on the front line with them, they're on the front line with those kids. And the College of Business, while so many people come in and will try to lift the kids up and they leave, they have not only come in and lifted the kids up, they have asked how to make sure they're supporting the teachers to lift the kids up. It's just been inspiring to watch the staff because the staff feels embraced. And then the work with the Career Day that and the teachers and the students participating together. I'm humbled that we've been embraced that way.
Here's the secret, guys. Here's the truth. We didn't do that much to get that response. We did very little. It has taken so little individual effort on our part to lift this school. It's been unbelievable. So what we've done so far, what we did last year, we had a pep rally and a sweatshirt party. We gave all the kids in the school sweatshirts. They get cold. They're not properly dressed. So we gave them hats, socks. You know, did I go back to? Okay, never mind. I thought I had a slide in here about the mission. Maybe I didn't. I gave them all sweatshirts, had a big party for them. That was back last fall. That was kind of where we launched. In the spring, they're hungry. We collected snacks. We got bags and bags and bags of goldfish. So the teachers would be able to give them a snack in the afternoon. Because oftentimes that afternoon snack may be the last thing they get to eat before they get breakfast again at the school the next morning. Then we have also done, we had a leadership class that brought the 5th grade here to campus on a field trip. We brought them here into this room and we let them hang out inside of the college. We had little mini classes with them and rotated them through the classrooms. We took them to lunch at the Ville, we did, I say we, I didn't. Our leadership class did. Took them to lunch at the Ville Grill and then took them to the Student Rec Center where they got to play with some of the basketball players. It was fantastic. And none of those kids had ever set foot on a college campus. And it was a totally new reality for them. The other things we've done, well, it doesn't like me. We had a career day for them. We brought in some outside folks, brought them in, spent the day talking to them about possibilities of what kind of careers they could have. And then at the end, we got them all a t-shirt, and then at the end of the day, they got to fill in what they wanted to do when they grew up. That was a really, really fun day for everybody involved. That's it. That's what we did. It wasn't that big, but it was huge for this community and for this school. So this mission, we have 2 things we want to do. We want to provide basic necessities. Guys, these kids need socks. They need underwear. They need snacks. And teachers spend so much of their time trying to meet those basic needs that we said, wait a minute, let us help you take care of those basic needs so you can go be a teacher in the classroom. So that was one goal that we have, is just to help provide basic needs to improve the learning environment. And then the second thing is to show them very simply, these kids need to see a different reality. We want them to see a future past their current existence. And the way to do that is to give them experiences, to take them on field trips, to put our students, to put you all in front of them, to talk about going to college, to bring them here on campus and show them campus and show them what a life and a future with an education can look like. And if we don't show it to them, it's not real to them. So those are our goals, and this is what you all can do to help us.
So for college students to be able to share their stories, they're learning to be in the moment and reflect on their stories while sharing it with our kids as well. And I think it's important that as they learn, college students are learning about giving back to their community, they're also teaching our children that they too can become global citizens, that they can grow up and do the same things that these young adults can do, but it's also important that then when they become college students, that they do the same thing. I want it to be reciprocal, but I also want our kids to know that's their journey too. They need to grow up, they need to go to college, and they need to share their story, because that's the only way our community is going to grow and become stronger, is if we all grow together. So I believe this is one of the best opportunities we can offer back to U of L students, is to help them reflect on their.
Oh, it really doesn't like me, does it? No.
So for college
Where do we get?
students, is to help them reflect on their.
You got the gist. So, and that's the first time that's happened. So let me just give you some opportunities. You have an opportunity in this class to do some volunteering at Portland. I really hope you will take advantage of the opportunity that Elizabeth has given you. Other opportunities, they just need you to be there. You can go morning, afternoon, after school. Sit down, have breakfast with them, read a book to the kindergartners in the morning, have lunch with them, play in the gym with them after school, help them with their math, homework. Every single day, there is an opportunity to interact with these kids. So that's one way. Just as you, student, want to get involved, the other thing that you can do, you can go on a field trip with them. They desperately need chaperones when they take these kids on field trips. They're always short on chaperones. That's another thing you can do. You can, if you have classes, you can do a class service project. And this is where you all have an opportunity to really build your own brand and your own resume. Think about how you can get a class project, or if you are part of a student organization, get a student organization on board with you and lead a service project. Demonstrate your leadership abilities through this program. So not only will you show a company that you too can be a good corporate citizen, but you also can be an effective leader. You can do both of those things simultaneously, and businesses are looking for this. So we will help you host field trips. We will help you do volunteer. We'll help you do fundraising. You bring us, all we need is your interest and your level of commitment and involvement that you'd like to do, and we will help you tailor something that would be good for your student group. Fair enough? Isn't this exciting? So how do you learn more? First of all, we have a Facebook page. So I'm going to tell you right now, you can pull out your phone. I'm going to let y'all break the rules. You can pull out your phone, find us on Facebook, and like us, because there's videos, there are pictures. You can see more about what's going on. It's just Elevate Portland. If you search Elevate Portland on Facebook, you'll find us. We also have a web page on the College of Business site. And what we would ask you to do, if you're interested in getting involved, email us outside of this class. If you want to do something outside of what Elizabeth is offering you to do in this class, shoot us an email. It's elevate@louisville.edu. I'm going to introduce you to Anna Ox. Anna is a College of Business student, and she is going to be helping me coordinate these activities. And Claire Arnold, she is part of our College of Business staff. She's an amazing resource. She will also be on board to help arrange some of these, to think through some of the possibilities and what you all can do to help us lift. It's more than just help. We want to lift these kids. And we can do it. We are doing it. So please get involved. Yes, Elliot.
Rather than just emailing, is there any way that we can actually just speak to you like in person after this is over with?
Oh, of course, yeah. So what I would say is shoot me an email, because I'm heading out. Shoot me an email, and we will set up a time to meet. So that will be the first thing we do, okay? Shoot me an email, and we will set up a time to have a discussion. Fair enough? All right, thank you all, and again, welcome to the college. You've made a very good decision to be a business major, and I am looking forward to seeing you all in my class.
All right, so we are going to keep moving. Oop. So it's 2016, in case anybody else. And I put this up there. Oh, is it this? No, that's not you. So I mentioned earlier, my name's Elizabeth Liebschutz. This is the phonetic spelling. But most of the times if you walk around the College of Business and just say, I'm looking for Elizabeth, and kind of pause, they know who you're talking about. My office is in the lower level of the College of Business. I'm in the Reinhardt Academic Center. It's the same location as your academic advisors. So if you came in for orientation in the College of Business where you did your initial academic advising, my office is in that same suite. So if you were looking for me or want to schedule appointments down the road, this is where you would find me. So this was our to-do. We've already had Dr. Attaway speak. We've talked about Elevate Portland. We're going to go through the purpose of the class. We're going to go over the syllabus because I have revamped how we're doing this class this year. It's very different if you've talked to anybody who's taken this class in the past, but you're going to have to pay attention because everybody I start explaining it to kind of looks at me and kind of shakes their head a little bit. It's a little confusing, but the idea is to give you as much freedom and flexibility to tailor this class to your personal interests. So I will explain that in just a minute. And then we're going to do a little get to know you. I have note cards that I'm going to pass out towards the end of the class and some questions I'm going to have you guys answer just so I can know who my Camp 100 students are. All right, so you know what, we'll come back to that in just a minute. Let's go back and show. Maybe we'll get back to that. Okay, so the purpose of this class. So every student who is at the University of Louisville is required to take a similar type course to graduate. If you are a transfer student, meaning you did not attend high school last year, you went to a college or university last year, and you have more than 24 hours coming in, see me after class. But otherwise, you are required to take this class. So if, let's say down the road, you decide you're going to go to speed school, or you're going to go into education, or you're going to go into A&S, this will meet the requirement for those departments too. Same as those students who will, when they may transfer into the College of Business, we accept those colleges. So you have to take this class to graduate, so just so you know. I will also tell you this is the easiest class for you to pass. It is also the easiest class for you to fail. And you would be surprised the number of people, there's a handful every year who fail it. And guess what? You have to retake it with me. So under those circumstances, just don't fail the course. That's the easiest advice I can give you. One of the things, so I'm going to go over the syllabus real quick so I can start trying to help you guys explain this. The purpose of this course is it's a college resource course, and the way we have it set up is that this is meant to help you learn about services, resources, things that are available to you across the College of Business, across the university, to help you be successful while you're here at the university. There are things that I require you to do to earn your grade, and there are things that the university tells me you have to do to earn your grade for this class. So tell me, who's finished their STOMP modules? You are wonderful. Love you. No. So, guys, there are things you're going to have to do that are tedious, boring, time-consuming, and I mean this, time-consuming, but you need to get them finished. There are no required textbooks for this class. But I do have a lot of visiting speakers, and they can send me readings, and I can send those out to you, and you are expected to have read them before you come into class. And if they start asking you questions, you're expected to interact. You have table tents. I have certain speakers who will walk the room and put microphones in your face. Be prepared for this, and be prepared to talk. And I don't know is usually not the right answer, because they're usually open-ended opinion questions. So your opinion is not I don't know, or it's not a bad thing. So just be prepared for that. You must complete the alcohol, EDU, and Haven courses if you are under 21. Those will come to you in an email format. That is a two-part process. You have to take it, and then 45 days lapse, and then they will send you the second part. You will not be able to register in November if you have not done this. Let me tell you what will stress out a first-year student more than anything than not being able to register in November. Just get this done. Get it taken care of. You're going to have much more important, more interesting, more fun things to do in September, October, November than worry about, I didn't do my alcohol EDU and now I can't register, and having to deal with that stress. So, all camp assignments are due, except there's one due next week, and I'll explain that in a minute, but everything else is due by Friday, November 11th at 3 p.m. Friday, November 11th at 3 p.m., every assignment will disappear off Blackboard, and you will not be able to access them. And that will cause, if you haven't done your assignments, that will cause you to fail the class. So the class sessions and everything technically end November 4th, so I'm even giving you an extra week to get all the assignments in. So there is no late assignments, there's no excuses, there's no any of that. So just be prepared for that. I'm also telling you, several months in advance that when they are due. Additional resources, louisville.edu. Be familiar with the business website, business.louisville.edu. There's a calendar that runs on the front page of events in the college. This is a good place to find things, interesting events, things that might interest you, things to help you build your brand, networking opportunities. I'm a big believer in networking. College of Business has a BizCom consultant. This person is to help you with your writing assignment. So perhaps you're a math whiz, but writing not so much. They can help you. Or maybe you're a great writer, but you're not a good business writer. These are people who are there to help you with your assignments and things like that. One of the great things, and I'm going to take a 2-minute segue real quick. One of the great things about being a College of Business student is you guys are some of the best at the university. And that's a really big honor to be sitting in this room right now, because you had to show higher GPAs, higher test scores, higher achievement to be here. We have the strictest entry GPA to get into the college and the university. So understand you guys are in a really coveted seat for a lot of people. And so be very proud of yourselves for being here and know that you worked really hard to get it. In that same vein, continue to earn it and continue to maintain it. If you drop below, we also have the easiest, because we have the highest GPA expectations, we have the also easiest, you will be asked to leave the college expectations. So below 2.8, so if you get C's, you may not be with us next year. Understand that. Even B minuses, you may not be with us next year. So be cognizant of that in terms of going forward, in terms of that you have a lot of opportunities available to you. One of the other benefits of being a College of Business student, so some of you, Louisville was always your number one choice or always a top contender. You've been a Cards fan since, you were knee-high, to your grandfather or whatever. But for some of you, maybe there was a different college or university that you had anticipated going to, and maybe the financial aid didn't work out. Maybe your family or support unit wasn't really comfortable with you going that far away to college, or maybe you weren't comfortable with going that far away. Whatever your reason, you're here. The College of Business functions like a liberal arts college or a small private college with all the amenities that a university has to offer. Within our own college, you have your own personal career center. You have your own personal labs. You have your own personal study spaces. You have your own study abroad officer, which is me. You have your own personal professional advisors. You get a lot of personalized attention within the college, and then you also have things like this BizCom consultant. You have a lot of personalized attention that you would not get in other divisions in the university. Every other student in the university uses the Career Center in the Houchins building. That is, we have 2,000 undergrad and graduate students, so the other 20,000 use that facility. So understand you get a lot of personalized attention. Take advantage of it and use it. These are things that have been implemented in the building to make you successful while you're here. Okay, back to the syllabus. Assignments need to be APA style, and you can look at that or get that book if you have questions with that. Please refrain from eating in class. Drinks that have caps allowed. Please take all your garbage and trash with you. There's recycling and trash at the back of the room. Cell phones, tablets, laptops, earbuds, speakers, all electrical devices must be put away unless you need them for ADA purposes, in which case I need disclosure from the Disability Resource Center that you have a provision for that. Unless a speaker like Beth told you to pull those out and do that. If a speaker tells you to do that, great, you have that opportunity to do that, but otherwise things need to be put away. If you have them out, I will ask you to put them away. If we are in the middle of a speaker and I see you're playing video games on your phone, pinning on Pinterest, texting, looking at your crotch a whole lot, I will ask you to put your phone away. Because if you're sitting down like this and the whole time in class, most likely you're looking at your phone under your desk. Trust me, I know. So I will always try to come and tap you on the shoulder first just to ask you to stop. If it keeps getting a problem, it can be an issue with your grade and everything in the course. The other thing is, please don't talk when we have guest speakers unless they're asking you to do group work. Men, I hate to tell you this, your voice carries much quicker than the women's, and you'll be surprised how quick I can identify you across the room who the speaker is. Your voices just carry much quicker across this room, but if there's a lot of social talking, things like that, I will ask you to stop to be respectful to our speakers, because sometimes they'll come up to me and they're like, you have a lot of talkers. So please be respectful of the person who's up here. The other thing is you're picking the classes you're going to be attending. I will explain in a minute. So you should be engaged and interested in the person who's talking. Blackboard is a requirement for camp. My assumption is that anything that I post there that you will have seen within 24 hours, and that is a requirement probably for most of your classes. These are tied to your U of L email accounts, so you need to be checking your U of L email every 24 hours. My assumption is you're seeing everything within 24 hours as a class requirement, so just make sure you are logging in regularly, at least weekly, if not daily, to check for information. And email distribution. Dates you need to know. First day of class was Monday. Last day, I said last day to add drop. Today's the last day to change classes on your schedule. So like if you are in, I don't know, Math 205 and you've decided you're not going to be an econ major and you can just switch to Math 180, today's the last day to do it. So just make sure you take care of those things. Next Monday, not this Monday, next Monday is Labor Day, so of course you have the holiday. Midterm break is October 3rd and 4th. Last time to withdraw from classes, October 24th. This is an important thing to know. You can withdraw from classes if you are failing. It will show as a WF on your transcript. If you're passing and you withdraw from a class, it'll show as a WP. Any day, so those are the last day to withdraw from those classes after that date it shows us those. Before those it just shows the W. If you are on financial aid, receiving any types of scholarship, loans, grants, anything like that, you must be in 12 hours to maintain that. So if you drop below that, it can adversely affect your financial aid. So be cognizant of that when you make the decisions. In terms of hours, I don't know if you guys listened to the news last night, but they just announced, so there was a 5% tuition increase this year. For everybody who finishes 30 hours at the end of this year, they are eligible for a rebate next year. So maintain your hours if you can, but don't sacrifice your GPA. Weigh that out. So, all campus on, November 8th, presidential election, national presidential election. No classes in the university. University will be closed that day. It's a Tuesday. Now, that being said, everybody should vote. I strongly encourage you all to vote. If you are not a Jefferson County resident, you can either switch your registration, but you have to do it within the next 2 weeks so that you can vote here. If not, you need to either go home to vote that day, or you need to contact the county clerk in your home county and get an absentee ballot sent to you, because that also has to be mailed back by the end of October. So if you are planning to vote, which this is a very contested election, I encourage you all to do it. These are the steps you need to take to make sure that you are eligible to vote either in Louisville or in your home county for the election in November. Thanksgiving break is November 23rd to 27th. That's a Wednesday through Monday. Last day of classes, December 6th. Reading day, December 7th, and then exams. Okay, everybody's required to have an academic advising appointment before you register. Don't do it this week, but say after Labor Day, go down and just go ahead and schedule your appointment, even if you don't want to see them until like mid-October, because appointments will fill, and the closer you wait to the registration window, the least likely it is you're going to get an appointment. So just get that taken care of. I will be sending out lists going, you haven't gotten your appointment. They'll let me know if you haven't scheduled. So wait till after Labor Day, go get the appointment, make it for whenever. You don't have to have it right away, but just make sure you get it. First years are required to do it. Here are the names of your advisors down here, unless you're equine, then you already probably know who your advisor is. November 3rd is early registration for Spring 17 for honors and athletes, and then November 11th and 14th is registration for first year students. And there are windows available based on your name, the first letter of your last name, and time slots when you can register. Okay, this is the part where it gets a little confusing, so bear with me. Class requirements. There are 3 mandatory classes. When you leave today, you'll have finished one of them. So you have 3 mandatory dates you must be in this class. That is August 26th, today, September 9th, and September 16th. You must be in class those days. All this is in the syllabus, so even if you don't get it written down, it's all in the syllabus, and the syllabus is up on Blackboard. In addition to those 3 classes, you pick 8 additional things to create your class. This is where you get to tailor it to what interests you. You may attend other classes, so on Friday, September 23rd, we're going to have a class about networking. On October 7th, we'll have a panel from former study abroad students to talk about their experiences studying abroad. Anna, who was in here earlier, spent a semester in the Netherlands. On Friday, October 14th, a session on business ethics. Nat Irvin and Futuristics in Business, October 28th. I will tell you, this is one of the most interesting people you will ever hear, but he is in your face, so be prepared. But he's very fascinating, very interesting. And then we will have a panel with alumni from the college on November 4th. So you could pick those, or you can pick from a resume workshop on September 7th from 12:15 to 1. By the way, College of Business, there are never classes from 12:15 to 1 every day. So we always have clubs and organizations things during that time. I will announce the room assignment. I need to see how many people are going to sign up for this, and I'll explain that in a minute too, so I know where to host it. Okay, so you're a great student. You got into the College of Business. You did great in high school. For the vast majority of you, the study habits you had in high school aren't going to cut it for college. So this is intentionally signed to be about after your second week, first round of exams and quizzes, because some of you are going to have a really rude awakening with that, and that's just the reality of it. That's not me picking on anybody. That's not me not doubting you as students. That's just me. You're going to have to learn to readjust. So we're going to have the Reach Center come over and do an effective study habits to help you. So that's one. You could pick those. You could decide you want to do one of the Elevate Portland initiatives. I have over 400 opportunities for students to help. There are 200 of you between this class and my other class. There are field trips. There is after-school library, after-school computer lab, after-school PE. There is library monitor, lunch buddies. There is field trips. The one thing, there's a couple things with the Elevate Portland. You have to do an orientation because we kind of have to prepare you emotionally and otherwise for going over there, because it'll kick you in the gut a little bit. 2, you have to go through a JCPS background check. So that is a requirement if you're going to do that. And the locations are all off campus, so you must provide your own transportation. Now, for those of you who don't have cars, there's some field trips at the zoo, and that is an easy bus ride over from here. Very easy. Eastern Parkway down to Poplar, very easy. Your student ID card that you have is free bus around the city. So if you don't have transportation and you're like, well, how am I supposed to get there? Your student ID card will be free bus transportation. The John Schnatter Center for Free Enterprise is something we have in the College of Business. You could pick one or the other in terms of these talks. So there's one September 15th and one October 14th. You have to swipe in and out, and you must do a write-up on Blackboard. So different assignments have different requirements to get credit for it. There's a career fair on September 22nd from 10:30 to 2:30. Now, there's not a lot of jobs for first-year students, but next year you're going to go for internships, and you need to be building yourself up this year. So you can go talk to the employers about, what do I need to do to be a candidate with you in the future? Because I want to work with you in the future. Yes?
But that one, do you need to stay the entire time?
No, no. We do provide transportation to the career fair, and that will take place, that big red statue out there in front of the College of Business. They'll have a bus that goes, and you'll see huge signs, like you can't miss them. But they'll have a bus that goes every half an hour over to the Crown Plaza if you don't have a car. Otherwise, the Crown Plaza has a huge parking lot, so there's plenty of parking over there. It's very close to campus, about 10 minutes at the most, if you had every red light. You could do the Book and Common Author event on September 27th. So you must swipe in and out, and you must submit the write-up. You could do Thrivals, which I put the website here so you can understand what Thrivals is, because it's really hard for me to conceptually tell you, but it connects back to Nat Irving, who I mentioned earlier, and it's fascinating. So this is off campus. I have to know if you're going to do this one because I have to get you a ticket, and you must provide your own transportation. First Street bus will take you straight there to the Kentucky Center for the Arts. And you must do the written assignment. Everything you need to know about internships. So technically you're supposed to cover that in your Biz 201 class, which you'll take next year or your junior year, but sometimes you're ready for your internships prior to that. So Paige Hinker, who works in or Paige Earhart, she just got married, so that's the name change. She will do 2 workshops so that you can start thinking and planning and preparing for internships. Or you can attend a College of Business student organization. And those are over the lunch hour, and there's a write-up for that. Armor Career Center events like MBA information sessions, stuff like that, don't count. Or you can do a strategic plan SWOT analysis. So you have like 15 things that you can pick from to make up your other 8 classes. So let's say you're a person who's like, I am eye on the prize, I am going to be rolling in the money one of these days, I am business. So maybe you're going to come to the 3 required classes, you're going to do the internship session, you're going to do the resume session, you're going to do the futuristics in business, you're going to do the career fair, so you can start having those conversations. You're going to come to the networking class, and you're going to come to the alumni panel. You're going to do the strategic plan, because I will tell you, students time in and time out tell me this is one of the most beneficial exercises they do as an undergraduate student, because it really gets them, and it's a living document, so you should change and evolve as you change and evolve. Or let's say you're a person who wants to take your business career and you really want to work in nonprofit social justice. So maybe you're going to do an event with Elevate Portland. Maybe you're going to do the business ethics. Maybe you want to study abroad, and so you're going to come to that session. Maybe, again, the networking one is really important to you. Career fair, because you want to see if there's any opportunities to do business and NGO or social justice work through the business at the career fairs. This is an opportunity to tailor your class to your personal interests. However, you miss 1 class that you tell me you're going to come, you drop a letter grade. You miss 2, you're at a C. You miss 3, you failed the course. So that's why it's really important for you to pick the things that you're going to do and uphold the assignments you're going to do. You have till November 11th to finish everything and get it submitted, but anything after November 11th doesn't count, and you will drop a letter grade for everything. So it's really important you understand that you have to be accountable for the 3 classes plus the 8 additional selections you make to be successful in this class. That's why I'm telling you it's the easiest class for you to pass, because you're tailoring it to your personal interest. You're making this class the way you want it to be. Or it's the easiest class to fail because you don't show up for something you said you would. And you're not going to get reminders from me. I will send out maybe at the beginning of the week, hey, these things are going on this week, if I remember. But everything is here, and I'm telling you everything now. So this is your responsibility to do. Now, to get credit if you come in on the Friday classes, Emma, can I use your table tent, please? You must have this every week that you come to the class in here. It must be open, it must be in front, it must be where we can read it. It should not be down. I will come around and ask you to put them up if they aren't. You don't have to hold it up, but they need to be up. At the end of class, you will be asked a question. If you look on the very back here, this is where you write the answer to the question, where it says, Class Session 1, August 26. You will have a question at the end of the class today. That is where you'll write your answer. I will check those next week. So then, next week we will have a bin on either side, but I apologize, this week we only have a bin on this side. I will check those next week, and if you did not fill in your question, You'll be considered absent, even if you were here the entire time. If you write it in here, you will be considered absent. Write it on the line. That's how we verify that you were here and following instructions and doing what you're supposed to do. So if you are in class, this is how we verify your attendance and things like that. Do not pick up and do this for other people. That is a violation of honor policies and can make you subjective to standards through the university. Yes? It will be a question you can answer, trust me. Like, it's not going to be something like, you know, give me Einstein's algorithm on da da da. You know, it's going to be something you can answer for the day. Yes?
So we'll always leave these here?
Yes, you do not take these with you, and we will always put them out for you at the beginning of class every Friday. Andrew?
By when and where would we tell you what class you were
I'll tell you that in just a second. Yes?
So the required classes that we don't have to come like next week, did you say those are required classes?
So next week, there's no class. So coincidentally, there's no class the Friday of Labor Day weekend and no class the Friday of fall break. Works out really nicely doing this flexible schedule because I don't have to schedule something every single Friday. So there is no class next Friday. Did you have a question? Over here? Andrew? So I'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so, oh, Emma, let me return this to you. Okay. So the other thing is you have some mandatory other assignments. Let me get back to that. So I was talking about STOMP modules and everything. Okay, so here you're required to do, attend the 26th, attend the 9th, attend the 16th, complete all STOMP and library modules with a 70% pass rate. You can go back into those. If you can take it and you get a 65%, you can take it again. But if you touch it after November 11th, you don't get a grade. You get a fail on it. So these are things too. If you don't do these things, for each one of these is missing, it's a letter grade drop. So all the STOMP library STOMP modules, you need to finish the complete Cognito campus and use this as your entry to get into it. And then the REACH seminars are loaded, the list of REACH seminars are loaded up into your Blackboard shell. And let me just go ahead and pull that up. Okay, so this is what Blackboard looks like for me. It's a little different because I'm your faculty member, but, oh, and also, if you ask me a question of something that's in the syllabus, I will refer you back to the syllabus. If you ask me how to upload your assignments to Blackboard, I've already sent you those instructions, so this is a great resource to go back to in terms of getting that. Part of this is just that these are things you're going to have to do for your classes as you advance in the College of Business, so you need to learn how to do these things. So it's not me being rude, it's not being me inconsiderate, it's me preparing you for your upper level classes in the business school. So assignments, okay. Down here at the bottom is your course agreement, and this is very important. This is the only thing that you have to turn in before November 11th. It must be turned into me by next Friday by 3 p.m., which means you can leave this class, turn it in by 1, and be done with your assignments until November 11th if you don't want to. I would not recommend that because November 10th will be a very hellish day for you if you wait that long to do everything. Okay, so the campus agreement tells me which 8 things you're selecting to do. Because if you're doing Elevate Portland, we have to send out lists to let them know when you're coming. If you are doing REACH seminars, I need to know how big of a room to reserve. Like, are there 50 of you coming or 150 of you coming? And that determines where I host things. So some of these things require check-in and check-out lists, and so you need to, and everything gets uploaded into Blackboard. You don't, under one exception, you don't bring these to me. Unless you're doing the Elevate Portland, then you must turn in a signature form that says that we can do a background check on you and a copy of your driver's license. So the course agreement is due next Friday. It's on Blackboard. You just upload it into Blackboard once it's in. Okay, so the College of Business assignment, if you do the Registered Student Organization assignment, there's the assignment, there's the writing prompt. If you do the strategic plan, there's the writing prompt. Resume, there's not a prompt for your resume, but after you do the resume workshop, you build a resume, and then you upload it into here to get credit for that. The Thrivals assignment, the Book in Common assignment, the Schnatter Center Talks, Cognito, the REACH, so if somebody's asking about the REACH, so these are the different REACH seminars. You can do these online. You don't have to go in person to do these. They can upload them into your Blackboard shell, and you can just do it, like at home at 2 in the morning if that's when you want to do it. The only thing is they take 24 hours to load. So if you wait till November 10th to do this, you will get a 0 on this assignment because it'll take too long to load before you get it. Yes?
So if we did 8 of those, does that count as 8?
No, that's this is a requirement, and you can only do one. So, no, you can't do multiple of anything. Like, you can't do 8 Elevate Portland. You can only do everything once. You can't do both Schnatter talks and count it. That's why everything says or. You can only do everything once. So, yes.
The stuff like uploading resumes, that stuff that's required or stuff that counts like towards the 8?
If you do the resume workshop as your class, that's the assignment that you have to turn in. After you have to sign in for the class, sign out for the class, and you have to submit your resume. So that's what you need to do. You can't just say, well, I went to the student organization. That's great. If you don't do the upload assignment that goes with it, you don't get credit for it. So look, and if you look on all those bullet points, it tells you what you have to do to get credit for that class. So, yes.
So out of all those for each assignments, or those days that you just put all the way out to one?
What? That's to give you flexibility and make it work for you. But you also don't have to abide by those dates. You can request it to be uploaded into Blackboard and do it online. So you don't have to be tied to those dates either. Some people like to have the in-person conversation, the brick and mortar opportunity. That's for those students. So yes, Andres.
What exactly is Cognito Campus?
Cognito Campus is suicide prevention, and the university is requiring that this year. Yes.
If we have to go to Thrive, do we have to go to the entire event, or can we just go to so they have different speakers?
Thrivals is an all-day event, so it's an all-day commitment. The other thing is you don't have permission to skip a class to do one of these events. So if you're skipping class to do this, you can't go up to a faculty member and say, well, I have to do this for camp and I have to go do this. You need to schedule around your classes and your other personal requirements. So, does this make sense? Is this better than being told what you have to do? You get to pick what interests you at least? Okay. Somebody's about to ask another question over here. Yes?
So all the sessions here on this charter, they're only session 1, 3, and 4, and everything else?
No, because you may pick those other sessions to come into.
Okay, the sessions are here correspond with they were choosing?
Yes. So, no, don't write anything on here. Don't write anything on here except for the days you're physically in here. So don't write anything on your chart, your thing, except the days you're in. So, yes.
So were you saying we don't have a class next Friday?
There is no class next Friday. The person who makes these just makes them for the whole semester. Don't worry about that. There's somebody who does this for me, and she's a saint for doing it, and so I don't complain. We'd just be happy that they're there. Yes?
When we pull up our weekly schedule, it'll just come up as no class, right?
No, it won't. They don't. The weekly schedule doesn't know when your professors cancel class. You have to know that, and that's in the syllabus. But there is nothing on September 2nd. There is nothing on September 30th. Yes? Stomp modules are on Blackboard, and these are things that they were talking about during orientation that you are required to do. So you have to do the stomp modules, the assessments, and the library modules. These are all here on your Blackboard, and they are required by the university for you to do. Okay, any questions on the syllabus? What do you need to turn in by next week? Course agreement. You pick your 8 things. You can only do one thing once, so you can't pick both Schnatter Center talks. You can pick one or the other. So, all right. You guys, you have a designated email address for me. If you look on the syllabus, this is the best way to reach me because I actually had an email set up just for the camp class for you all. So the email address to reach me is camp100@louisville.edu. This is on your syllabus. You don't necessarily have to write it down. It's all there. It's in Blackboard as well. This is an email address that does not get messed up with the study abroad emails and everything else that I do. This is specifically for you all and the best way to get a quicker response. This is a great way to reach me, so that way I have better communication with you all. Also keep in mind, there are 200 of you and 1 of me, because I have another class that's equally this big at 1 o'clock. When you communicate with me, please just let me know, especially if it's about something specific to class, let me know if you're in the 11 a.m. or the 1 p.m. class. Just let me know you're in the 11 a.m. so that way I can let you know things. Other thing, if you're a fall athlete, if you're an athlete that you have your athletic advising letter in your hand because you have to see me after class with that, if you are having surgery, and you signed up for a class and suddenly you can't be it because you're in the hospital, I need doctor's notes for absences. And that's the other thing about the way this schedule is set up is that there shouldn't be absences. but I also understand that sometimes you end up in a doctor's office because you have strep or things like that. I need a doctor's note for an excused absence. Otherwise, it is an unexcused absence and does consider a grade drop. So if you sign up to go to something and you don't go to it, it's a grade drop. Just understand these things. These are things that you are committing to do. It's not a lot of them. It's giving you the freedom and flexibility to do what you want. Somebody else have a question?
No, it's kind of sort of.
Yeah.
How do you want us to do, like, going about, like, with funerals and such? Like, with the same situation, how would we?
Yeah. Talk to me one-on-one about that. So, all right. Okay, so real quick.
Take one and pass. Okay, there's no cards circling around, so grab one.
We are going to run late, we're going to run full time today. Most times this class does not actually go the full hour and 15 minutes, I'll let you know that. It depends on our speakers, but we had extra speakers today, so that's going to take us a little longer today. A few things, if I can give you any advice about your college. I hope you guys have had a good first week of school. College is a fun time. It really is. And I won't tell you it's the best time of your life, because that says like then there's nothing good in life after college, and that's just really not true. But it's fun, and I think we played a game. Some of the students had arrived last week, and we did a class called This or That, and it was work hard, play hard, and all of them were like in the middle going, well, which one am I supposed to go to? And so it's not a bad mentality, but you also have to remember the work hard piece. There's so much research that will tell you that if you get involved on campus, that you will be more successful. I can't even tell you how many volumes of research there is that says if you get involved with a student club, organization, something that connects you to the university, you'll be more successful. I noticed some of you are already wearing your Greek t-shirts. That's a great opportunity. But that might not be for everybody, and so there's opportunities in the business school. So maybe you're going to be in student marketing association, or maybe you're going to be in finance club or investment club. Seek out these opportunities to help you be successful, network, meet people. Networking is so valuable to you as business students. The other thing is just things to keep aware of. Again, you guys are top tier students to be here, but only 26% of adult Americans have bachelor's degrees. So the numbers aren't in everybody's favor. And the other thing is at the University of Louisville, only about 52% of the students who start as first year students are still here their second year. And some of those students go to other colleges and universities, but some of them drop out completely or fail out completely. So work very hard not to be one of those numbers, because they're very truthful and they're very powerful, because you guys are making significant commitments and significant investments to be here. So, okay, so back to the slideshow. All right, so this is me. I'm Elizabeth. I am a mother. I have 2 boys who are obsessed with balls and sports, and that came out wrong. But they're involved. They're obsessed with everything, all things sports. Last summer, I'm the director of international programs for the College of Business. That's actually my day job, the hat I normally wear. So I am a big believer in international opportunities. I think it is something that actually uniquely sets students apart when they are looking for building their brand, things like that. Last summer, I had a really fun opportunity. I traveled with 14 students to Croatia and the Czech Republic. Beth, who was speaking earlier, she was the faculty member with me on it. We had a great time. The students did classes in the mornings, we did business visits in the afternoon, and then we also did some additional site visits, hiking, things like that. It was a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity. We're hoping there's tons of study abroad opportunities. We will get more information about that as the semester goes, so don't be like, why aren't you talking more about it? I will, but some people say we overload you, so I'm trying to hold back. Okay, so you guys all have questions. I want you to fill the information out on the questions for me. I'm going to collect them at the end of class, and then I will also need all the blank ones because I think I have just enough for both classes today. So I want your full name and what you prefer to be called. So my name's Elizabeth Liebschutz Rutger. It's really long. Yes?
Does full name include our middle name?
It's up to you. If you want me to know it, that's fine. Inside work, I go by Elizabeth, but outside of work, I go by Beth. So if you are an Andrew and you go by Drew and you want me to call you Drew, the other thing is if you do that, you can also write that on your card. So like if you go by your middle name and the card reflects your first name, if you'll just draw a line through that and just put your name, and I have big fat Sharpies back there if it'd be easier to be seen. If you are like I said, if you're an Andrew and you prefer to go by Drew, you can write that on the card as well so that we are calling you the preferred name. Your student ID number, your email address, your hometown, and your high school. Yes?
Is that email address as in?
You can put both down. So I will also, this is a lot of questions, so that you can write on both sides of the card, so just be prepared for that. Like, don't skip. If you had, it's okay, just don't skip anymore. I guess I could do this slide short this way. Okay. All right. Okay, so next one. What is your intended major? An undecided is a perfectly acceptable major. That is okay. It's not a bad thing. Yes? Yep. It was high school, hometown, email address, ID, name. Minors, that was the obvious next one. I understand that for a lot of you, this will change significantly over 4 years. I was going to major in physics. I did not. I have a bachelor's degree in French. I had a lot of fun in college. So. Okay, dream job. I wanted to be on the Olympic governing body. I wanted to do international work. Works out. What are you or do you want to be involved with while at the University of Louisville? So are you hoping to be Greek? Are you involved with athletics? Are you hoping to be involved with freshman lead? Are you hoping to be involved with social justice organizations? Are you a closet thespian and you want to be on the theater, but you are pragmatic and so you know you need a business degree? Absolutely. Undecided is not a bad thing. It keeps you open-minded and exploring everything. Okay. 3 goals for your time at the University of Louisville. Be president of the student body government. Go to France. Intern with PwC. 3 goals. I'm kind of looking for heads up before I go on, so, all right. 3 goals for life. I want to visit every continent. I want to run a marathon in all 50 states. I want to base jump from the Matterhorn.
You said we could write on the back.
Yes, absolutely. Favorite sports team. If you are not a sports person, what's your other favorite? Like, just give me a favorite. of something that is in your genre of what you like. I would put the Cubs up here, which is finally paying off after years and years of pain. A Bears fan, not paying off. Die-hard, lifelong U of L fan. Die-hard Iowa Hawkeyes fan. I grew up in the territory of that other school, so growing up a U of L fan there, I was always the outcast. Favorite color? Favorite book? If you're not a reader, magazine, blogs, it's fine. You're looking at something. Most people are. Oop, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was it on that one. What? Favorite book? Okay, let's go back to that. All right. If you could go to one show, event, concert, something past or present, what would it be? Like, yes. Favorite book? Or magazine, blog, something like that. If, you know, so like, you really wish you'd been at Woodstock in '68, you know, or I would tell you Lollapalooza '92, or, you know, if you could go back and go to a show or an event, like, not necessarily like the Hindenburg crashing to stop it, but like an event. Like, I wish I'd been able to go to the Olympics in Sydney, Australia, you know, something like that. What are your hobbies? What do you do outside of class? What do you do for fun? This is really important because you have to keep doing these things. These are what are going to keep you balanced as you progress as a student, and more importantly, when you progress as a professional. If you could go anywhere in the world and money was not an issue, where would it go? Where would you go? I would have told you in the past, Croatia was at the top of my bucket list, but I got to go there last summer with students. So now I'm trying to figure out what my new bucket list location is. Tell me a fun fact about yourself that you think I should know. That's appropriate. Keep that inappropriate. If you have to have it defined, then that's not appropriate. Okay. All right. So, yeah, no more questions. Okay, few other things, real quick, points of business. When you are finished, there's only one bin, it's on this back table, you need to drop your cards in there. Every week when we dismiss class, I will dismiss with a question, so even if the speaker says, we're done, you're not done until I come up and do the question, just as a warning. If you need a planner, like if you like to have a planner, there's a ton down by the horse, like around the horse statue. They're free, take one. There are probably like hundreds of them floating around this building right now. Grab those. If you're interested in the Thrivals, I will have a free book for you in addition to your ticket down the road, so that's available to you as well. So, your question for the back of your card today is, what was the best part about your first week of college? What's inappropriate?